What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. We're having all the technical difficulties. It's hot. We're in the sun. It's supposed to be cooler today, but it ain't. So thank you for joining me today on this impromptu car video. Um, listen, I understand why y'all moved back out of Cali, out of Arizona, because it's hot. Now, you see the title of the video, you see the thumbnail. Listen, the thumbnail speaks for itself, right? We always create these boogeymen, these monsters coming to grab us, the recession, the depression, the racism, you name the boogeyman, we supply it usually for ourselves, right? So long and the story short, let's get to it. How to create a strong network, an indestructible business, increase your money and happiness in 60 days. Now, y'all know I do not particularly like anything under the 12-week mark. Why under the 12-week mark? Because it takes significant 3 to 4 months of change, because this is what happens. I say, man, focus on something for 30 days. You come back, you call me, Erica, I focused on something for 30 days. I focused, it did nothing happen. And then I say, well, how much did you really focus? How many hours a day? How many nights a day? How much time? How many emails? How many calls? And kind of find out you only made a few calls. You did a few here, a little bit here, a little bit there. You really didn't go hardcore. So I'm saying 60 days because here's the thing. I told the people at the conference when they came, I said, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go home and you want to tell all your family and friends about all the awesome real estate, how you going to build homes, how you going to do this, how you going to do that. And you know what your family going to do? Boom, tomatoes, tomatoes, boo. They're going to boo you. Now, they may not come right out and boo you, but what they're going to do is they're going to try to go, can you think you can do that? Are you sure you can do that? I don't know. I'm unsure. Oh, who's going to fund that? Where are you going to find all that money? Where are you going to do this? Well, land over there is just the ghetto over there. You're going to build on that side of town. See, they're going to do everything in their power to be like the octopus in the thumbnail. They're coming for you to bring you back to the pit of misery that they're sitting in, to bring you back into unfulfillment that they're sitting in, to bring you back in the lack of joy they're sitting in. It is known, there are studies on this, you can research it for yourself, that people that have goals, people that have purpose, people that live a purpose-driven life are more happy, right? They're more happy, they're more fulfilled, they're more excited about life. Why? Because they're on purpose. So many times, even in go ask anybody who's ever been in AA or any drug rehab treatment, they try to get the people to do what? Find religion, find purpose, focus on their kids, do it for your kids, do it for your fam, right? They try to do that. What I want you to do in this situation is do not, like, the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna go tell my grandma. Your grandma ain't never built no house. Your grandma ain't never started no business. What you telling your grandma for? So she can pat you on the back and be like, you so smart, baby. That's so good, baby. That's what y'all want. Y'all want to go home and get pats on the back for doing something different. You're not going to get it. Okay? I'm real sorry. I want to apologize to you in advance. You're not going to get it. The best thing you can do, the best thing you can do is go 180 degrees straight towards your goal. Whatever goal you wrote down while you were at my events, at other people's events, I want you to go 100% into that goal. How do you build a network of people to talk to? My biggest thing I did at the event this weekend is I try to get everybody, hey, switch numbers with each other. What city are you in? What state are you in? You guys should partner. You guys should work together. Why? Because when 2 or 3 people are on a mission and a goal together, man, if they're indestructible almost. They're going to hit the hammer hard. They're going to go for it. When you have one person by themselves, they're trying to convince their wife, they're trying to convince their kids, they're trying to convince their co-workers, they run out of joy. They run out of steam. They run out of energy. And then they slowly get back into the kind of the herd of, okay, I guess I couldn't do this. That's why you'll always meet someone, right? You'll always meet someone who said, oh, I tried that. Oh, I tried a business. Oh, I tried to get that credit card. I tried. Baby, ain't nobody want to hear them sad songs. There's a man I follow on Facebook right now, and I laugh because every day he's just throwing stones of doubt. Oh, this is why I stayed with my government job for 20 years, because it's hard getting jobs out there. It's hard making it out there. I need the safe, secure government job. And that's how people really think. They feel sorry for you that you ain't got no safe, secure government job, right? So stop trying to tell people about your dreams. God didn't give your dream to them. In the Bible, didn't he give it to Joseph? Joseph ran around throwing it all in his brother's face. The Lord told me I was going to lead nations. And his brother's like, I'm sick of this little kid. I'm sick of him. Daddy's favorite. I'm sick of him. Right? We all got families, got favorites, right? So what ends up happening is when you come in to tell people this amazing thing, oh man, I got this amazing thing I want to do. Don't do that. My strongest incentive to you is to take today. Let's say you want to be in real estate. You want to be deep. I'm trying to be careful not using appropriate words. Deep into real estate. I'm going to tell you to go in bigger pockets. I'm going to tell you make a statement. I'm going to be doing this in this city. Because, y'all like to be under the radar. I don't want nobody in my business, Ericka. You ain't got no business, man. Ain't nobody looking for you. Unless you used to sell a bunch of drugs, now you trying to go straight. They may be looking for you to butt you in your leg, but most of y'all ain't nobody checking for you. It's in your mind. You've made it up in your mind that people are on the internet trying to be in your business, and you got haters. Ain't nobody know you, man. The most haters you're gonna run into is your same family. So let's stop that. Let's stop that imaginary dream world you're in. So first things first, if I'm on the real estate, I'm gonna go in bigger pockets. I'm gonna tell them, hey, I'm in, Phoenix, Arizona. I'm trying to build this, right? I'm building a duplex, right? So what we're gonna get? We're gonna get other people who are where in Arizona, like I'm over here in Arizona. I'm there. Who are you using for funding? Who are you using for this or for that? Simply start connecting with those people, right? Then on top of that, if you were inside the training we just did, the conference we just did, you got to go out and search for people who are doing actively what you're trying to do. You build a strong network of 10 to 20 people by going out and searching, by taking action. See, the problem is a lot of you have all this, I read this book and I read this other book, and I even bought some courses. I bought some courses. And I asked you, what action have you taken? Have you started LLC? Did you call contractors? Did you go look for land? Did you go start any of the stuff you just learned in that course? No, I didn't. Well, that's why you're full of anxiety. That's why you can't tell your family anything. That's why you can't walk around with your head high, because you haven't taken any action. Real action, no matter what these little internet streaks tell you, is picking up the damn phone. Picking up the old school phone, picking up the phone, texting, reaching out, emailing people. I'm talking about emailing 10 to 20 people a day in the field of what you're trying to do. A lot of times people say, well, Ericka, I started that business and it didn't go well. And then I ask you, how many people did you reach out to? Oh, I reached out to a ton of people. Show me in your emails. Oh, well, I really didn't. You're lying, right? 9 times out of 10, you haven't reached out to 10,000 people in your marketplace. You have not. Whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook groups. Listen, someone said, Ericka, how did you find so many contractors in Detroit? You weren't up there. First thing I did is I went to the Facebook. I said, man, my contractor left me hanging. I got a drywall need to go up. I need to clean out of a house, a vacant. Man, and I need a dumpster. Anybody know any of these people? Man, I had 87 comments. Call this number. This is my cousin. He do dumpsters. Call old girl. We a handyman company. People are on there. I had 188 numbers for the Detroit area. Now, what am I do? I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, I got these numbers. I'm a little nervous. No, I'm going to call every one of those numbers. I'm going to text every one of those people. Hey, this is the out-of-state investor. Hey, I'm just trying to get my property clean. Can you go by and do a quote tomorrow? If you can't do a quote tomorrow, when's the next day you can go? I want whoever's first to go answer and what's their price point. Hey, can you show me some pictures of your work? Just text them to me. So text me some of your pictures of your work so I can understand. Do you have a Facebook page, right? I'm going to do everything I can to get those 188 phone numbers, right? And label them all on my phone as Detroit, right? Detroit handyman, Detroit painter, Detroit roofer, Detroit whatever. So now I've got this Rolodex of Detroit people, right? That I can reach out to, right? So if I fly in town, say, listen, I'm going to be in town for 3 days. I need you at this property. You want to get cleaned up? You want to knock it out? Let's go. I have the cash in hand. Now I'm going to carry my PPP while I'm up there. Yeah, daggone, skip it. I don't got time for all these strangers. I don't know who these people are. But anyway, first things first. So now, just like that, I got 188 phone numbers. Most people wouldn't even be brave enough to go out there and say, hey, I have this issue, I need help. They won't do it. So you out here trying to talk in circles to your family about your plans, that doesn't go anywhere. These people aren't trying to do what you're trying to do. Go in the room with others that are trying to do what you do. This weekend, we had a sold out event. We had over 40 people in a room that could have helped you get your project started. We had 1 or 2 contractors that are licensed in multiple states. We had a concrete guy. We had people that were wholesalers. We had all kind of people in the room. You know what I'm going to do this week? I'm going to call almost every single one of them, follow up and say, hey, how much land did you find in the past 5 days? What's your plans? Did you need help finding funding? Why am I do that? Because they took the action to come to the event. I'm going to take the action to make sure they finish and accomplish their goals. How do you build strong networks? Actually be doing something. A lot of y'all always talking about, I'm trying to find new friends and new friend group. Nobody wants to be a friend with a slug. Nobody wants to be a friend with somebody say, man, I just want to find somebody to drink beers with. Man, you can go sit at the bar and find people to drink beer with. People like hanging out with people that are going somewhere, that are doing something. Having direction. When you have no direction, no mentorship, you struggle. This just is what it is. You struggle. Okay. Nobody wants to be friends with a slug. Now, how do you become the hub? Now, what do I mean? I don't mean historically underutilized businesses. That's not the hub I'm talking about. We're not talking about government contracts. I'm talking about how do you become the hub? Okay. You become the hub by either providing value or receiving. It's a give take kind of economy, right? So have something of value to give others, right? As soon as the young man said he was in wholesaling, I said, well, man, you can go find land lots and vacant land and absentee owners for a lot of people in the group, and they could pay you. That's literally how that could work if you wanted it to. A lot of times people don't want to hear that though, because they're like, oh man, I don't know, that's not guaranteed. That's not how we live. It's not how we live. So when I talk about indestructible business, what does that mean? Indestructible business. Indestructible business is a business that is getting sales and it's doing fulfillment. That's correct, right? Indestructible businesses. Some people are worried about the economy. Graham Stephan, I think mostly because of the lawsuit on FTX's issue, he's like, oh, I think I'm not going to do YouTube anymore. YouTube's been pumping this kid and giving him a free ride for years. And again, people are like, oh, you're just a hater because you don't have thousands of people on your videos. No, I'm not. I'm just a person who studied this business and understand completely what's going on with YouTube. They pump and promote certain channels because they give a certain face to YouTube. They make it friendly for advertisers, and it makes it easy for YouTube. No problem, no worries. We know what type of faces created the algorithms. You know what I'm saying? No harm, no foul. But in your case, if you're not one of the luckies that YouTube pushes, you either know you have a couple things to do. You either going to have to pay for ads, you have to start partnering with other YouTubers. Number 3, you're going to have to start creating the traction. Now, what does creating the traction means? My goal is not to have millions of views on YouTube. That's nice. It's beautiful. The silver plaque would be nice. But my most focus is, how do I get the 30 million this year, right? I'm in too many conferences. I know too much information. I know too many people. So what's my road to 30 million, right? So once I wrote out my plan, I spoke with some other people over ahead of me in mentorship. They said, this is the direction you should go. You got to become a hub. I said, a hub, man. And I don't mean historically underused businesses, right? I mean hub as in where people congregate to, right? So we're going to have to up our in-person events this year. Why? Because we know how to become more of a hub, right? So we have events going into Texas and a few other states. Why? Because we're going to be the hub, right? We're probably going to have a booth. We're going to have a booth at Earn Your Leisure this year in Atlanta. Why? In a way to become the hub. There's so many people saying, Ericka, there's scammers out here. There's people doing this and that in the marketplace. What is your thoughts? Listen to me. People getting scammed and the conversation you're hearing online right now are mostly people looking for a shortcut. Mostly people looking for a shortcut. What do I mean? We know the steps to get most things. What are the steps? Right? Let's go through it. Let's say I want to buy a property. I have my information. I have the title company's information. I send my money to the title company. They give me They give me paperwork and they give me that property, right? Super simple, right? Let's say I want to buy a home. I know I got to get pre-approved. I got to know what's on my credit, and I got to have some money for down payment, possibly. Sometimes I don't. Some programs you don't. NACA is a program where you don't have to put your money down, but NACA is a shit show. It's terrible. If you want to waste a year of your life waiting on NACA to figure out if they can close something for you, sure, totally go do NACA. You know what I mean? Totally go do it. It's a way to get in the game. Andrew Hayes, Mr. Renaissance, I think it's like 123 on Instagram. He literally got himself a fourplex. And with that fourplex in Chicago, he's been living rent free for years off of the NACA program, getting into that property right there through, right? So another thing, right? How to buy a car. We know we gotta have our ID, we gotta have our credit report. The steps are public knowledge. So a lot of times what happens is people are looking for the shortcut. How can I get a shortcut? That is where the trouble begins. How can you help me skip past all the steps so I can cut across here, or I can get some type of deal, right? People are trying to look for the deal, save a few bucks, and that's where the danger lies. In order for you to become the hub, you need to know how to knowledgeably 1, 2, 3 follow the steps to get through something legally, right? Period. So in order to have a strong network, you're going to have to unfortunately get out of your house. It's going to have to be in-person events. We've spent the past couple of years with COVID, and people have been hiding in the house like hermits. They've been complaining things aren't going their way, but they're going to realize the only way that things are going to go their way is they're going to have to get out of the house. So how do we increase our money? How do we increase our happiness? Having purpose, right? The other week when I talked about how we have a surge of 10,000 people a day coming across the border, nobody cares. Oh, Ericka, that doesn't matter. You're trying to talk about politics. So what? It's the same people and the same cousins and the same slugs and families that are like, I can't find any work. The easy work, the easy work where you don't even have to speak English to show up and get a job. Yeah, that works nowhere around. The new work you're going to need to do to make more money, have more happiness, is have a skill. So if you know you got 60 days, next 60 days, you need to find out what you can take at the community college to get yourself up a skill. I hate saying 60 and 30 days because it's really not enough time, but it is enough time to turn the ship around. Because at the end of the day, it's going to take you focusing the whole year turning that way. A lot of people are going to leave this event. They're going to go look for land for 2 days and say, oh, I couldn't find anything. And then if I go to their city and say, did you go look over here? Did you look over there? Oh, I didn't. Because we have an unconscious bias in our mind when we live somewhere. We just don't hang out over there. We don't hang out over here. Oh, we know somebody from that side of town. And the whole time there could have been land lots and deals for you in that side of town. Right? So really it's taking the blinders off, building a stronger network of others who may have different vision from you. You're not always going to agree. And going out there and making yourself a hub for knowledge. A hub for what? What are you going to make a hub for? Again, I'm making myself a hub for building this year. I'm making myself a hub in more than one state for building so that people can what? When they become where I'm at or they come to my event, they know the people in the room are going to be serious. They're ready to go. They're ready to produce something. That's what I want to be known for. Now, I talked about YouTube and I talked about business, right? Let me go ahead and talk about business a little bit more. Let me hub into it a little bit more. And this is going to piss people off, but I got to say it again. I know I say it often and people get mad. Anybody that's breathing and with a lick of sense can create a business that produces 10 to 20K a month. The problem is most of us are looking for a way to do the least work possible and get the most, right? Most people are trying to figure out how can I just breathe air and I get 20K a month. So a lot of businesses, YouTube included, podcast included, you can get to 10, 20K a month solo. Using a few contractors here and there, a little bit of help here and there. When you get overwhelmed, you can reach that. E-commerce, all that stuff, like real simple, 1 or 2 people mailing things out, you can reach it. Definitely reach it, 10 to 20K. Now, when you start wanting to go to 50 to 100K a month, I'm talking about a month, not a year. I'm talking about a month. You start trying to go 50 to 100K a month, now you need systems. Now you need ways to implement. Now you need at least 2 staff. Now you need some help. Now there's some YouTubers who've had some rocket through the sky numbers, 30K a month, 40K a month. They've been making all the videos, editing all the videos, but guess what? They have no work-life balance. They burn out in 2 to 3 years. That's why they fall off YouTube off like a rock. My suggestion to you is create an actual business. This YouTube can be a media business if you treat it like one. Right? Okay. Now, what does that mean? 50K to 100K a month. You're talking about 2 employees, and either one of those employees are helping you run ads, or one of those employees is helping you do fulfillment, or one of those employees is helping you keep up with customer follow-up. Point blank, period. Every time you try to get around the law of those numbers, you're going to have problems. You're going to have hella problems, right? People try to buy franchises and do the most basic stuff. You're going to have problems, right? You're going to have problems. You have to literally follow templates, follow steps to get to that 50K to 100K a month. Somewhere in that combination is going to be advertising, fulfillment, and customer service. And it's going to take about 2 employees. Now, if you're talking about, hey, Ericka, I want to build something to sell eventually. You're talking about a company that makes 100K, $500,000, or $1 million a month. So that it's so juicy to somebody, right? It's so juicy to somebody that they got to do it. Oh, man, thank you. I appreciate that. Super awesome. And that's going to take teams. That's going to take sales. That's going to depend on the vehicle you're in. We had a man this weekend at the event. He owned a pest control company. Awesome, right? We had a young man who had multiple different things he invested in, dump trucks, commercial properties. These are amazing things that these people are doing, but eventually to get a little higher, to get a more consistency, to get big numbers coming in a month, they're going to need a team. They're going to need a team. Okay? A team that has sales, more than one salesperson. To get $1 million a month, you're going to need more than one salesperson. You're going to need more than one fulfillment person, and you're going to need more than one customer service person. You need an actual team, and when the team gets into issues, that company's going to have issues. Point blank, period. This is why when you start hiring people, you start putting them through these trainings, you start putting them through conferences, you start educating them and elevating the level of knowledge they have so that they're more valuable to you. This is this is critical, y'all. A lot of people say, well, Ericka, I have this ideal and I'm going to blow up and I'll make $1 million a year. And I go, well, who's going to help you get there? Who's the team? What's the knowledge level? Nothing wrong with starting, but you need to make yourself a hub. You need to find other people in your industry. And so many times people are like, well, I don't want someone to steal away my potential clients. I don't want someone to steal my ideal. Let me tell you something. Ideals ain't worth. I know, boo, tomatoes, Ericka, but ideals really aren't worth anything unless there's action behind it. So many times people are like, well, Ericka, I want to do a consult call, but I need you to sign this NDA. Your ideals ain't worth anything, playboy. They ain't worth anything. I will gladly refund you and give you your money back because I can tell you right now, I'll get on the phone call with you. I'll walk you through your ideal. And if you won't do anything with the ideal, you don't do anything with the ideal, then guess what? It's just an ideal. It's just a poof of your imagination. It doesn't count, right? So the real work sometimes is that offline work. Finding people to work with, finding people to do business with, finding people who can put you in touch with others, right? Picking up that phone. I know it's so unpopular, but everybody wants to text their way out of something. It just ain't gonna happen like that. A lot of y'all have to pick up the actual phone and call people because you might be short 20K and somebody beside you has the 20K. Oh, you might be short 10K and somebody beside you has the 10K. That's what really puts a stop to a lot of people's dreams and ambitions, right? Is them not being able to do what? Finish the task because they're overwhelmed and overworked. Okay. So yes, can you make a business today for 10 to 20K in the middle of a recession? Heck yeah. Once you get them systems and processes down and you start pushing it, boom. Now you're like, Ericka, how can I scale it? It's going to take sales. It's going to take what? Fulfillment. It's going to take what? A team. It's going to take a team. So again, at least 2 employees at that point. NNP Landscaping, thank you for the 999 super chat. He says, you're inspired my last two YouTube channels. Follow this one for satisfying lawn care videos. Listen, you're gonna blow up. You know why? People like to veg out. People love the idea of, I just want to watch TV and veg out. And YouTube will pay you kindly for it. Advertisers will pay you greatly for it just to watch lawn care. They do. They love it. Thank you, Taylor Dodd. Listen, met some great people this weekend. Nothing like being in a room full of A players. Shout out to Diamond Dave and Ericka Williams. For sure. Listen, you guys, I keep trying to tell other YouTubers this. The best thing you can do is have an in-person meetup. Why? Because you get to see who your real audience is in person. You get to see who's serious. You get to see who's ready to go. You get to see what they're missing in real life. Because people can tell you anything over the phone. You get them in person. Hey, what are you missing out of the equation? Just money? Hey, let's call you these 3 banks and get you some money. Let's get you where you need to be. That's usually how that works, right? So the more, how do you increase your happiness? How do you increase your money? How do you increase your network? I'm gonna just tell y'all, it's in-person events and making yourself the hub. It just really is. Can people come to you or come to your event and connect and get something out of it? Then great. That's what you want, right? So the real work, I always say the real work is offline. Why is the real work offline? Everybody sounds great online in their little world. Everybody sounds fantastic in their world, right? But the truth is, in order to really grow, you got to be able to make that offline person and online person meet together in the middle, right? So how can we do that? How can we make this online persona reach the internet persona that we've been building out here? It's taking action. It's actually putting some traction to what you've been saying. The biggest thing I can give you guys this year in the summer is, unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to go ahead and cancel our Zanzibar trip. So every person who purchases a ticket will be refunded, because we have like 3 other major events happening and also major projects going down, and we'll be able to film some of that, right? I can't give y'all all the secrets, but we got pitched an offer for a TV show. Just letting you know that. Just a little bit of pitch there. But it's not just that. It's the fact that growing a company, starting a company is paper. Starting a company is an LLC, and no matter what the internet gurus try to tell you about an LLC, starting an LLC, getting a business bank account, and actually building out vendor lines of credit to build up that profile, that's how you start that, right? But keeping it going is the key, because a lot of times people lose steam. And I don't mean the acronym that DJ the Money Coach gives. I mean like actual steam. They lose steam for the company. They lose steam for the ideal. And I would dare push some of you to say, instead of giving up on that company, instead of giving up on that business, instead of giving up on that ideal, can you hire somebody to take 20 hours a week of work away from you? Can you hire somebody to take 20 hours of work a week away from you? What do I mean? Is it, again, and I'll talk from the media market perspective, but thumbnails and descriptions and customer follow-up, that's stuff that you're like, I don't really care about that, right? Or that pulls the energy away from me, right? Why does that pull the energy away from me? Because it's something you're not liking to do, or you're losing passion for that actual company. Another thing, we went to a conference before this conference, and it was so energy dropping, right? Congratulations. It was so energy, like boom, the gyms, the people. We end up talking to a group of folks who are like, man, I have all these staff, but if AI really does what it says it does, I'll cut half my staff. I started laughing because I realized, I keep telling y'all that you got to be really valuable to a company. And people don't like hearing that. Why don't they like hearing that? Well, I go to my job, Ericka. I show up on time. I work hard, and then I go home with my kids, right? Do you? How often are you on the internet? How often are you on Facebook? How often are you on the internet just goofing off, right? A lot. We know this. This isn't a secret, right? So my biggest thing to folks is, are you valuable to that company? Right? We went to this one conference and literally 2 or 3 Jewish guys, a couple Latino guys, everybody was like, hey, this is how we run our business. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can have the information. Why? Because information doesn't mean anything. It only means something if you're going to take action. So the guy is giving me his playbook, his blueprints. Hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. You can do it all. You know why it don't matter? You know why it don't matter that he tells everything about his business, all his personal information, how to do it, how to run it? Because a person can tell you everything and you still won't do anything about it. You will literally just be listening, just hearing it. Oh, yeah, that's so great. That's so awesome. If you don't step up and take action, it will not change your life. Does that make sense? It will not change your life. So what did you say here? Ericka dropping gems. I'm going to the state capitol to have happy hours with the state officials via my real estate investor group. Congratulations, Cosmic Wisdom. And out of that event, you should make sure you try to, if possible, to grab as many numbers you can from there. Because I will tell you this, there are groups of people that are real estate folks that I only talk to once a month. But that once a month is powerful. That once a month, oh yeah, man, how you been? Yeah, talk to me. What are you doing in there? Oh, okay, you're doing this. How can I help you? How can I be assistance to you? And what you're going to realize is the more people you talk to that are growing, doing, active, man, they're more than willing to tell you everything. They're more than willing to tell you step by step, play by play, the companies, the banks they're using, the credit lines. You know why? Because most people ain't going to do nothing with it. Right? I get cussed out by my group of friends, like, stop telling people everything on YouTube, Ericka. You're giving away all the information. And I go, dude, most of these people aren't gonna do nothing with it. Doesn't matter if I tell them. They ain't gonna do nothing with it. Ideals are nothing. Execution is everything. Execution is everything. So yeah, do I know people watching from the clouds? I sure do. I know a couple people watching from the clouds. And they literally pick up every guest I ever bring on the channel. They call every person I've ever worked with. They try to partner with everybody I ever bring on here. And that's cool. You know why? Because I'm a hub. I'm a hub for opportunity. I'm a hub for growth. I'm going to get my 30 mil this year. And it doesn't matter if I tell you step by step how I'm going to do it. Because you're not going to be able to do the same level of activity I do. That's it. You're not going to be able to have the systems. You're not going to be able to have the system and level activity. You're not going to be able to have the same personnel. You're not even going to have my staff. I literally give my VAs and tell my VAs to call their cousins and give y'all VAs away on this channel. You know why? Because most of you will have to find work for them to do. You'll have to find work for them to do. You'll have to find activity for them to do. Or you're just going to be paying out of pocket for nothing. So let me see what some other comments you guys have. I don't want to keep you here all day, but that was my biggest thing is so many people are like, Ericka, how can I build a network of people to work with and talk with? Be doing something. Have a plan. Have a goal. Have some direction. People will love to connect with people that are doing something in life. I promise you. Slim companies are all the rage now. We don't need employees cutting into the bottom line. All that can be automated. You know, filthy Frank Black. There's truth to that, but there's also truth to momentum. Right? You can have an office where there's only 3 or 4 people and it can kind of get boring and stale for the employees and they may leave looking for more work assignment. Now, why will they leave looking for more work assignment? I'm going to tell you like this. A lot of people, instead of creating a life they love and enjoy and they can go party with their friends and eat dinner and have cookouts, they kind of live for work. They go, oh, I don't make enough money at work, so I can't even travel. You know, so I wish I could do more, get more income. And then the boss offers them more opportunity and more work. Oh, I need some more hours to myself. You know what I mean? Like I've seen people do this in multiple different companies where they try to offer the staff more money or more assignments. People live to work, unfortunately, instead of kind of working to have income to do their activities, right? And again, people will feed you this, oh my God, Ericka, work's so stressful. It's so mentally tiring. I can't even do anything once I leave work. And I go, what do you do? Data entry. Man, hush your mouth. You ain't doing sales. I already have 1 drone. I'm about to invest and get 2 more. All in the okay, congratulations. Use that drone certification. This AI can be a godsend, but I don't think people should lean too heavy on it. Never, Donald Watts. You should always be able to hire at least 3 to 4 people when AI fails, when AI doesn't do what it's supposed to. There's a company I know right now, 2 guys. One guy hired too many people, right? I'm going to go ahead and give it the truth. One guy in the mastermind hired way too many people. He's been trimming back ever since, right? His office is too big. He's got all this stuff. And he's like, oh, I don't even know what to do. I'm like, you're going to have to rent some of your office out. You've got 7 rooms, I think 8 rooms, and you're only using half. Rent the other rooms out, right? But then that means you have to protect the data and the space inside the room. The other guy had a bunch of AI, right? So much is just robots talking. It's robots talking to clients, and he didn't even know, like, oh my God, some of the AI said this and that and did this. And I'm like, you paid for the software. You got to watch the software. So he's in the process of kind of rebalancing and hiring some people back. It happens often. There you go. Got back from Phoenix, and my hubby started reaching out to his old construction contacts. Congratulations, Farida, James. I'm telling you, it's like getting back on a horse. Conjure, who is this? Who's Conjure? Somebody drop your real name. Don't be out here on these internet streets. Thanks, definitely taking numbers. Got to invite by being active in the group. There you go. That's facts. Unfortunately, there's so much I want to take action on, but I feel paralyzed. Listen, you got to just pick one and go. The reason I even named this video next 60 days is because so many people are like, well, I want to do this. I want to lose weight. I want to run a marathon. I want to fly planes. I want to move to another state. I want to learn Spanish. Listen, I get it. And on a sheet of paper, you need to write down your long-term goals, what you want to be in 2 to 5 years, and then you need to write down some shorter-term goals. I want you in the 60 days, whatever is your most pressing goal, let's hammer that. If you want to run a marathon in the 60 days from now, that's all your goal you need to focus on. Everything else is secondary at this point. You just need to be worried about getting the right foods, the right running times, the right numbers for yourself. That's it. Now, if you say, Ericka, no, I'm not trying to run a marathon. I'm trying to grow my company. How do you reach 10,000 people in the next 60 days? Because depending on the size of your company, you might not need 10,000. You might only need 1,000 people to respond and say yes. This is very important. Ericka, I'm finna catch up with you. I'll be a few steps behind, but I'm gonna catch up. Man, Taylor D, like, you got to dream your own dream and write your own plan, because it's like you can do anything. You could go past me. You could get $100 million in real estate. You can do all kinds of stuff. You never know what your dream is or which direction you're trying to go. But I salute you. I welcome it. Everyone doesn't have the gift of gab either. Some folks can't articulate their ideals others. This is true, Tiffany. This is very true. And this is where you need to work on dictionary. You need to be reading the dictionary. I know this sounds crazy. You need to read the dictionary. You need to write a 2-sentence ideal. If Tiffany says today, I want to own a massage clinic in, I don't know, Dallas, Texas. All right. So Tiffany, 2-sentence. I'm Tiffany and I'm looking to invest in a massage clinic for people's well-being in Dallas, Texas, and I just need a little bit more funding. That's it. 2 sentences. It shouldn't be me having to beat skin out of you to get a question, right? A lot of times people blame their lack of, oh, I don't have to get the gab. I'm not skinny. I'm not tall. I'm not this. I'm not rich. All these things are just excuses. They're excuses. Because if you had a medical emergency and they asked you, tell me what's wrong with you, you go, I'm Tiffany. I got a cut on my arm. Help me. You'd be quick. It's not the gift of gab. It's just literally having the ability to describe what you need. That's it. The ability to describe what you need. What do you need? How can we help you? Filthy Frank, that depends. These are the same people say, oh, I don't have any money. They're the same people lined up at Taco Bell and McDonald's and Chick-fil-A every day. What's money? People will always find $7 to $50 that they will spend on goofy. They will have Amazon packages coming to their house every day. The cheap stuff. They will have little things, treat themselves to coffees every day, right? That's why they always made that book, The Latte Factor, which I thought was ridiculous. But the point of the book was people will always find money for small things. So when we talk about AI, we talk about all this investing of companies. At the end of the day, people will go find $10 to do something. This is why I talked about SaaS last week, software as a service, being so powerful. People will have reoccurring payments on stuff they don't even use. And the event we're at, there were people selling software that was like $197 a month. I'm like, if you get 1,000 people in this room at $197 a month, man, come on, man. That's 200K a year. I mean, a month. That comes out to like 3 million a year. Well, 2.4K a year, 2.4 million a year, off of just a service, because people will rationalize small, under $500 a month services on a reoccurring basis all the time, whether it's cleaning their car, stuff going on in their house, maids coming to their house, all kind of stuff. People will validate those services. That's all I'm saying. Convenience is still a seller. I'm hearing the idea of renting out office space thrown around. Listen, now why are we talking about office space and people get mad? Office, because event space. See, pure space per se. It makes sense. Why does pure space still make sense in a world where people are saying, "Oh, Airbnb in Truro is dead"? It's not dead. It just depends on the city you're in. Event space makes sense because so many people do not live in a home in their late 30s and 40s. What is going on in their late 30s and 40s? They are having children, they have kids, they have birthday parties, and they don't have enough space at their apartment or a venue space to throw an event. So guess what? Event spaces make money. Why? Because people are not living in the homes or the lives they want, or they don't want to invite people over to their home in this current economy, COVID, whatever you want to name it. There's reasons, right? So convenience is still a big thing, and renting office space will be a big thing, because people think they can work from home and they really can't, or people think they can hire more people for their company and everybody can just work remote. It's fine. Nah, man, you can't build company culture that way. You just can't. It's hard to train people to do the right thing remotely. It just is. Sorry. Congratulations. All right. Ah, okay. I see what you're saying, Tiffany. I have to get the gab. I know a lot of people who are antisocial but want success to find them. When it hurts enough, Tiffany, they'll change. Yeah, South is a very profitable business model. I mean, if you guys didn't see, Alex Becker just got acquisitions for $110 million. And he's been talking about hydros on his YouTube channel for years now. This is why when people make fun of YouTube and people being YouTubers and people doing it for the gram, I just laughed. I'm like, people that came here to do business and make real money offline, they're making it. They're making it. The power is in the event. I'm just gonna tell you right now, Ko-Fi, I think it's, what's his name? Cofield, somebody put his name in the chat. Dude, the hairline starting way back here. Cofield, tax attorney. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just so busy doing my own shit, I can't get people's names right. He basically moved to Colombia, right? And he has a thing where you can spend the day with him for $25,000, right? Where he's gonna come in, he's gonna help you get your business, your marketing, all that stuff, right? Carter Cofield, thank you so much, y'all. And the reason he can charge $25,000 a day is because of what? This YouTube, this internet marketing, right? If you really want to spend, and I'm just gonna give a rough number. If you want to spend $1,000 a week, getting, I would say closer to 3,000 a week, but I'm gonna say 1,000 just because it's an old number from a friend from a mastermind. 1,000 a week, getting 1 million views on Instagram, and just keep being in the space. Woo! It does pay off. And again, you're gonna say, Ericka, 1,000 a week? Okay, that's just 52,000 a year. But if that $52,000 a year nets you $1 million, is it worth it? Heck yeah. Same thing here on YouTube. People say, "Oh, you're still doing YouTube?" And I'm like, dude, it's gonna net me $1 million. And then if I play my cards right this year, it'll net me 30 million, because I would have took my internet money and put it into my business money. And I took my internet money and put it into land and put it into projects. This is the things people don't want to hear about and don't really want to talk about. That the YouTube's fun. The internet conversations are fun. The podcasting's fun. But it has to go somewhere structural. You have to really be playing Monopoly in everyday life because, someone made a comment to me and my significant other made it too. Like, what if they cut the internet off tomorrow? I'm like, baby, I still got email lists. I still got a phone full of phone numbers. I still got contacts. I still can get on a plane and I'm still go get my rental property income. I'm still going to get other streams of income and be just fine. But I told people when they came on YouTube, trying to get their validation from online, you can't. Validation comes from real life activity. Validation comes from real life relationships. Validation comes from you actually interacting with real people offline, right? So the biggest thing I tell people is, prime example, you guys were at the conference this weekend. You didn't get to drive by my land lot, but in the yard of my projects, I have a banner and a sign that says, call this 1-800 number if you have land for sale or a house for sale. Across the street from my project is an empty vacant house that clearly is a rental that no one's renting. The grass is high in a hot ass desert area. Grass is high. It looks abandoned. Okay, so I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna reach out to the person who owns that land. But also when they come check on their property and they look across the street and they see a banner that has my number, they're gonna be like, I'm tired of this rental. Let me call this girl, see how much she's gonna pay me for this rental. That's why people put banners out. That's why phone numbers still work. That's why calls still work. It just is what it is, right? Y'all met Carter? I'm glad y'all met him. I'm interested in building a land developing business, but I don't know how. Rose, reverse engineer. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, baby. Go find a person who's doing what you want to do and reverse engineer. Is it land flipping? Okay, type on the computer. Land flipping. Who's going to come up? There's going to be books come up. There's going to be people teaching stuff coming up. There's going to be people hosting events. Tax liens. I'm not the only person talking about tax liens. Tax liens have been around for 300 years. At the end of the day, there's a ton of other people talking about tax liens online. You can literally type it up and go to some of their events. My biggest suggestion to you in this video is connecting with real people online to create a strong network. There's going to be some people say, well, Ericka, I meet my friends and they online. That's cool. But if you didn't watch John Wick 4, what is friendship when it's only convenient? Oh, you just happen to be online. You just happen to text me. I cut off about 20 people last year, y'all. I really did. And y'all, people be thinking I'm a B word, and that's cool. But I cut them off because you can't be a friend when it's only convenient. You can't have friendship just because it's convenient to you. There got to be times where it's inconvenient. Oh, man, I got locked out of my house and they had to help you get in the house. Oh, man, I'm stuck at the airport. I can't get on Uber. Would that person pick you up? Would they send an Uber with their phone to come get you? Right? Hey, man, I'm having a bad week. Will that person call you back? This is where people keep coming across people who are flaky, who are slugs, who ain't doing nothing. Right? That's why you keep seeing all these videos pop up on YouTube of like, I'm 35 and I have no friends. And then you could probably look back in that person's history. They have never stepped out of their 2 cents of comfort to do something for another person. Because friendship ain't always easy, right? It should be generally easy, but it ain't always easy. And so a lot of times, if you look at your life, if you do a survey, right? Because people always say my business is struggling, and I always ask them about their personal life. They get real mad. Why are you asking me about my personal business? Because your business is struggling because of your personal life. Our businesses are 9 times out of 10 reflection of ourselves. If they're unorganized, if they're a mess, if they're all over the place, it's a reflection of ourselves. The bottle cap at most businesses are ourselves. When somebody tells me their business and what it does, I'm like, why aren't you making $100K a month? It's usually the business owner. They're usually the bottleneck in their business. I apply this same conversation to myself. If I'm like, damn, why I ain't got 30 million like that person? It's usually because I'm spending too much time looking at that person, not looking at what I can do for my own business and my own structures. Right? Like just giving y'all honest feedback here. He said, I go through her book. Okay. Facebook ads team. You can make money. Just make moves with successful people. This is true. Erica, do you see more people becoming nomadic going forward? 70% of all people live within 20 minutes of where they were born. 88% of people live within an hour of their mother. So nomadic, yes and no. I'd say more seasonal home movers. I'm meeting a lot of people in Texas who they moved, then they had a baby, so their mother and father moved down. At first seasonally to help with the children, and eventually move fully. I used to see in the military time, somebody's last duty station, the kids would move there, and then they would all be living in that same city in that same space, right? Um, but you'll have more people doing that for opportunities, right? The young lady, Phoenix Rising, I brought her up on the show several times here on Instagram. You can go check her page out. She moved to Costa Rica with a 9-month-old. Well, of course, her mother came with her, right? The grandbaby pool. Well, then the mother and the stepfather came, right? Well, then the auntie came because the sister is gone, right? So you have a whole community that moved down to Costa Rica with this young lady and her baby because it was a family move. Everybody was in a season of life where they could move, right? And so now you have to learn how to make a business online because it's a necessity because you've moved out of the country and you don't speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just 101. Man, everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. It's unfortunate. Getting to a destination requires you to make a real decision about choices that are important. This is correct. You are so right. It's amazing how things in business start to shift when I work more on myself. Your content is super helpful with that. Congratulations. Teach my kinder. Listen, so many times people want to ignore the elephant in the room, like the 500-pound elephant in the back of the room. Like, I don't know why I don't have enough energy. Do you? Are you eating P. Terry's and cheeseburgers at 11 o'clock at night and drinking some wine every night to go to bed and can't figure out why your stomach's upset every night and you can't go to sleep? Like, it's just the simple stuff, right? It's the little compound effects. And that book is so important. Compound effect. It's that little stuff you're doing every day. Every day is adding more to it. I see a lot of van lifers in the future. Nobody is preparing for the future and will be priced out. Aisha Bennett, that was like two of the people's comments when we started the conference, that they wanted to start building because they could see how the city, they're not going to be able to afford to live there. They're going to move. I'm here in Arizona, and I can tell you, I can see so many California plates, so many Florida plates. And what happened is people were not doing well sometimes where they live, and they got a job offer to move, or they had an opportunity to move. So they're out here now, and is their life better? You know, I'm not always judging, but is your life better? If you're going to live somewhere and it's not getting better, you should probably move. I mean, I really mean that. I mean that with my whole heart, because moving allows you to get new interactions, new energy, new vision of yourself, new things that you do. Y'all, I move frequently. Like, I've moved multiple times, living even in Austin, to different apartments, and it's allowed me to live in a different part of Austin with different energy, different people, and different moods. Like, I'm just telling you, moving makes a difference in your energy and who you interact with and who you do business with. Wait here. Like, the only other thing I can tell you that's stronger and more powerful for your business is wrapping your vehicle in your business logo. I mean, I literally drive by somebody and the whole truck is wrapped. I'd be wanting to call the number. I don't even need AC repair. I want to call it to see how they answer the phone. I don't even be needing a roof. I'll be wanting to call the number. Why? Because it's a clear advertisement that you see in your face. All right. So I'm out here in Arizona. You have hundreds of companies moving here. Oh yeah, of course it's okay to move if you have kids. Are your kids moving with you though, Iceman? That's a key point there. I'll say that part. Moving helps you awaken new stuff you didn't see, right? So, prime example, if you come out here to Arizona and you're like, man, only skills I got is pool cleaning. Start a pool cleaning business, right? One of the places we went and visited on the tour was a young man, and I call him a young man just to be respectful, older man, but he basically had a pool company and he has a window company, and he's built a brand new house this year, custom home. Now, some people are gonna say, man, how was he able to afford this and do this? He has 2 businesses. Now, he ain't doing pools and windows on the same day. He has staff and people that work for him, right? That's what people don't understand. He has a staff in both levels, and that allow him to take that extra income, right, from owning those two companies, making payroll, making sure the guys have work, making sure there's sales, all that. Took that money and put it into a custom home so he can do what? Have a lump sum income that comes in from that sale. That's most people who own a business. When I go to events, car shows, arts work, it's business owners there. You dig what I'm saying? It's business owners there. It ain't a bunch of high paid workers. It's business owners. Now, do high paid workers have a place all over the place? For sure. Do people working for Grant Cardone that make a lot of money enjoy working for Grant Cardone and invest in probably some of his product and service? For sure. You know, they have a whole program called the Millionaire Employee, and I kind of laugh about it because at the end of the day, you work in sales in any company, you do it right, you're gonna have skills. Anybody that probably go work for Grant Cardone in his sales department, if they want to get or they quit or they get fired, guess what? Somebody gonna hire them because they know he done trained the S out of them, right? Just off rip, they'll be fine. I remember David Beck Carroll made a whole video talking about how he like this employee kept fighting for a higher raise at his company. He's like, geez, dude, calm down. So finally gives him the raise. The dude goes out and gets an interview and leaves the company to another company. Why did he do that? Because he had to show the other company that, hey, I'm getting paid 80, 90K a year at this company. And if you pay me 100, I'll leave. Or 110. Right? The question is, was the guy valuable? If the guy's got to fight you for a year or two to get the raise, he was probably more than happy to leave because he didn't have to fight the next company for it. These are just things people have to keep in mind. You got good A players on your team, good B players, and they're making sales and they're making your company grow. You better do what you can to keep them. Moving across the country twice was the best thing for my marriage, daughter, career, networking, allowed me to be comfortable enough to open my consulting business. Man, congratulations, Dion Coleman. Congratulations. I promise you. Now, moving doesn't solve all issues. If you got issues, you need to work on your issues. But 9 times out of 10, moving does help. And if your kids are young enough, they're going to be fine. They're going to go to school, make new friends, and keep pushing. Right? Because let's be honest, what do most families do? The kids are in karate, the kids are in softball, the kids are in gymnastics, the kids are, making new friends. Your wife has to make new mommy friends and find people at the park to hang with. You'll be fine. Period. You'll be fine. I was making a joke when somebody asked me would I live in Scottsdale. I was like, dude, I could live anywhere. Why? I'm a military kid. I've lived in Alaska. I lived overseas. I've lived here. I've traveled the world. It's about you more than it is the city state. Unless you move to a weird armpit town. And even if I moved to a weird armpit town, I would find a way to bring a jazz fest to the armpit town, right? Like, I'm not even being funny. I would literally find a way to bring a jazz fest and convince the town, let's pay somebody a bunch of money. Let's pay, some artists 50 grand to get here and make the armpit town, have a big festival at least once a year, right? Because it's you. It's not where you live. It's you. Moving does help, but it's usually you. All right. So I hope you guys got a lot of the show today. I'll just kind of do a recap. When you have no direction, you have no mentorship, makes life hard. Right? You'll take all your Ericka energy. I'm telling you, I'd change the armpit town in a day, man. They'd be like, who done built a new coffee shop, a new virtual reception office? Listen. I've been to many small towns that had a bunch of offices for rent for $800. I'm like, I would rent all 3 of these offices. And this would be the Ericka hub of the street of this downtown little town, and I would kick butt. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. Moving to the right place is key. After a year in VA, I've accepted that this is part of VA ain't for me. Listen, ain't nobody tell you move to the hick town out there in VA. If you're gonna move to VA, go straight to the big city, because every little tiny part of VA ain't it. It ain't it, sis. But congrats on moving, because at least you took the energy to move and learn. Right? So let me give a real recap. Strong network. How do you build a strong network? Some of y'all gonna have to get off this internet and meet in person. How do you, I mean, in-person events is just what you're going to see a lot of this year. I promise you. When Earn Your Leisure said they're going to have 20,000 people at that event, I believe them. I believe them. They had 12,000 last year. It was a hub. They became a hub for an event for in Atlanta. How do you increase your happiness? I would say, again, it's going to be in the next 60 days, it's going to be really focusing hard on that focus, right? Again, if y'all have super detailed questions, just book a call with me. Save yourself the trouble. Um, it's going to be really booking that focus in. How do you build an indestructible business? Can you today, out of your city, pull in 10,000 leads? That should be your answer. How can I find 10,000 leads in my current city for my business? If it ain't going to come from my city, how do I get them from offline? Because see, a lot of people telling you what's business is all this posting on Instagram, and I will tell you it's the reverse. I'm going to tell you to go be a headhunter. I'm going to tell you to go get people off LinkedIn. I'm going to go tell you to go into Facebook groups and go get your money, right? A lot of people say, well, Ericka, I just want to come on YouTube and all the views, and I just get paid 40 grand to put out a video. I don't really want to work hard. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people who really are willing to go get 10,000 leads. How are you going to go get your 10,000 leads? That's really the truth I have for y'all. How do you want to go get your 10,000 leads? You're headed to the coast. You headed to North Carolina coast, VA coast, Florida coast. Which coast? Which coast? Solution, this experience. Tell us about it. Oh no. Oh no, we're dropping the camera. Oh no. It's about that time to get out of here anyway. So again, can a solo business owner make 10 to 20K? Heck yeah, 10 to 20K is easy to do. I know people hate hearing me say it's easy to do, but it's true. It's easy to do. 10 to 20K solo, you just have to reverse engineer. I know many of people that are making a killing that way. The young lady, Phoenix Rising, she learned credit repair. She's in Costa Rica doing credit repair. X amount of clients a month, was able to make, I don't know. I know she was able to make 6 figures and take her family from Costa Rica to Egypt. So they're doing half their time in Egypt and half the time in Costa Rica. Right? The horror stories you hear from people about being a single mom, you can change that life. You don't have to live that life, but you're going to have to make a decision. Once that kid comes into the picture, what is a business, product, or service I can do to really make money? But anybody can make about a good 10 to 20K a month solo. I know people hate hearing me say that, but it's the truth. For sure, right? 50K to 100K a month. That's when you're talking about increased sales, increased fulfillment, increased customer service, at least 2 employees. I mean, I would say 5, but at least 2, right? Because once you start talking about 5 employees, now you got to really make the business push up to justify the employees and justify the numbers, right? When you're talking about you want to make $500,000 to $1 million a month, now you're really talking about advertising. You're talking about Facebook ads, YouTube ads. You're talking about some type of ads. You're talking about a wrap vehicle. You're talking about 2 or 3 of your trucks in your company wrapped with your company's logo and phone number so that the phones always ring. You're talking about a phone answering nonstop type of deal. You're talking about $1 million a month. Okay. And that's going to require a team, system, and people to work with you. Also, become a hub. How can people interact with you and it's financially beneficial for both of you? Somebody the other day told me they had sold 57,000 courses, and I was like, okay, out of the 57,000 courses, how many testimonials does he have? How many students are coming out here speaking? I've got 10,000 students, and I have hundreds of testimonials. So you also have to worry, how do you avoid scams? How do you avoid people giving you the BS stories? What are their testimonials? You see the countless testimonials we post on YouTube. We're going to post about 15 more around middle of May when they're done being edited and done being worked on along with other videos. But we have the students. We have the testimonials. We show you where we're making these numbers. And at the end of the day, my goal to a lot of you who are doing internet business or course sale business, I'm not saying course sales are dead. I'm just going to say in-person events is going to take that place this year. People want to meet with real people offline, how they make that money, how they meet in person, how they make things move for them. Because a lot of people think, well, if I just make more money, my life will be great. No, that's not really the only answer. Because you making more money changes the dynamic in your family, in your relationships, in your friendships. Some of your friends don't think you deserve the money you're making. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Some friends don't believe that. So you have to be careful. You may have to cut some people from the group, and that's okay. That happens. You have to trim where needed. So anyway, you guys, let me see what the last two is. Drake, you Dre Harden. Ericka's gonna be dangerous. She's throwing festivals in Namibia. I throw them anywhere. You have to try. You can't be scared to fail. That's true. Working on my solopreneur business now. Need clients within the month and run it full time. Yeah, Carmen. I mean, you have to find out what works, but the biggest things I hope y'all took away from this video is you may have to reach out and find those 10,000 clients. You may have to reach out in these Facebook groups and build your network and get you 188 numbers of people who can make things go. Making more and what to do with the money are two different things. This is true. This is true. You know, if you want me to go there for a second, 9 times out of 10 is 1, 2, 3. Create a family, get married, buy a home. When you ask people when you looked at the list, and I'm gonna just go there for a second. When they did a survey of Black men who were multimillionaires and well-to-do in life, 99.5% of the people who did the survey were married and over 50 years old. So they're like, yeah, see, Black men are millionaires. Black men that are 99% married and over 50 years old make good income, right? If they got a trade, if they got a home, if they got money put away in investments, for sure, they hit those criteria. If people ask me, Ericka, how can you be a millionaire? If you want my real honest answer, it's going to be 1, start a business, or 2, get the most highest paying job you can. Because after 2 or 3 years, you can't just keep buying more cars and more clothes. After 2 or 3 years, you're going to be saying, I'm tired of working all day and all night. Where can I put this extra $50K a month, extra $50K out of my year? You're going to start looking for ways to put that money somewhere that's productive and gives you a return. Just the facts, right? I was going to do a video on the Black young lady that has $250,000 student loan debt. I was like, I don't know why this sister on TV acting like, I don't know what to do. Sis, you know what to do. You're in Austin, Texas. You need to do what? Go get a tech job. Go get a sales job that's going to pay you 100, 150K a year. Pay that debt off in 3 years and call it a day. Like, we keep trying to give people these like runaround scenarios of like, oh, she has 250K in debt. Shame on the school. Shame on people. No, shame on her. Because once she hit 250,000, working a regular 50K job was not in the future for her. I've been on the phone many a times with client calls and people got mad at me because I told them, you know, hey, you got 200K in student loan debt and you're worried about buying houses and doing that stuff. You need to be worrying about getting that debt knocked down so that it doesn't interfere with the type of house you want to buy. You can make it 100K this year, take 30K of that and throw it on that debt every year for the next 7 years till you're done. That's the true answer. Nobody wants to hear that though. So anyways, you guys, make more money, take that money, and invest in that money. So that you can have what? Assets that are paying you. The more assets every year you have paying you, the better it will be for you. If you add one asset a year that pays an extra $1,000 to your pocket a year, every month it puts an extra $1,000 in your pocket. Do that every year for 10 years. You will be drastically different from everyone you know, drastically different from all your friends, because a lot of y'all are going to wake up and you're going to be 43, 53, 63. I don't know. I'm just going with the threes. And all your friends and family are struggling because they chose 10 years ago to not make that plan, make that move, right? They decided not to make that move, not to even think about it, not even have an inch of focus on, okay, where do I want to be in 10 years from now, right? I'm just telling you, a lot of people refuse to do that. And you're going to look up and all your friends are having a rough 50s, rough 60s. You can be different. So anyways, you guys, our big marketed this month. I think we got the number. I think we got like 1,000 people text. I'm not sure. I have to go check with the company. But over 512-348-2192. Text ready or trade lines. I think they're reaching out to most people this week, Thursday and Friday. We'll be texting out to that link that you guys texted and said, here's the link. Book your phone call with them, your free phone call. And good luck. I wish all of you the best. I want you to have the best credit. I want you to get the trade lines if you need them. get where you need in business and in life so that you can make decisions that are to your benefit. Anyway, this is the best part right here. Dion Coleman. It definitely brought my wife and I closer together because we had to circle the wagons. That part. You got to dig in together and get to fighting in the new city. Fighting for the life you want in the new city, for sure. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Ericka, Classy Climb Blog. I wish you all the best. The event was fantastical. I had a great time. I was so pleased with all the people that came. Just the event itself. You guys will see a couple more events from me this year. Zanzibar trip is canceled on our end. We'll get that email out to everybody who signed up and get them refunded. But at the end of the day, we have something bigger in its place, and I'm so thrilled and so excited that this year's going to be full of some great opportunities. So this is your girl Ericka, Classy Climb Blog. Later.